Hello, Internet, and welcome to the long-anticipated Volume 3 of Wonderworld, in which our steadily diminishing cast of characters continues to diminish. Unfortunately, Kyle couldn't make it, had some last-minute work complications, so it's just going to be Cerebellix and Machina today. Yay. So we're going to do something a little bit different at the beginning here. Since we're sort of learning this game together, I thought it'd be good to spend a few minutes at the beginning of the session sort of going over some of the rule stuff, especially since it's been like 2 months since we played, and talk a little bit about character advancement, because our party here has racked up a little bit of XP at this point, and they can spend it to increase their already superpowered selves even further. So as far as character advancement in Cypher, it's actually a lot more in the player's hands than it is in other systems, if you're familiar with like D&D, especially 5th edition, where it's just accumulating kind of classic XP gaining, where when you hit a certain level, then you level up, and all of your advancements are essentially the same across playthroughs. This is a little different. So every session I give out some XP to the players, and they can get XP in a number of different ways, either by suffering through a GM intrusion, which we've seen in a couple of our games so far, or by just accomplishing goals that I set for them, which is usually just surviving encounters. So I think you guys have a few at this point. I know Cerebellix has got like 14 XP or something like that. I don't know what Machina
I
is
hoard
at now.
XPs.
Yeah.
I think I have 12 in total right now.
12, yeah. So you can hold on to XP, and you can use them to do like re-rolls and stuff. Later on, you can spend them to avoid GM intrusion, so it's kind of a currency for the players. You can expend them to do a number of things, but like we're doing today with the character advancement, you can also spend them to increase your abilities. So there's, I think, there's 4 stages of character advancement before you actually gain a level, which is called the next tier. So you can increase your capabilities, which is you gain 4 points to add into any of your stat pools. If you remember, you've got strength, speed, and intellect as your stat pool, so you can increase one of those by 4. You can also add 1 point to either your might edge, your speed edge, or your intellect edge. And edge is something that reduces the difficulty of any, or no, it's not the difficulty, it reduces the cost of any task you do. Oh my god, I don't even remember. Somebody look it up. I'm pretty sure it reduces the cost of any task that you do by 1. Anyway, we'll get to that. So you can increase your edge. I'll look at that as you guys are talking about what you're going to do. Let's see. You can also gain an extra level of effort, which effort is what allows you to expend points from your pool to reduce the difficulty. So right now, each one of our players can only expend 1 level of effort to reduce the difficulty of a task by 1. You can gain an extra level of that, so you can now spend points to increase the difficulty task by 2, or you can become trained in 1 skill of your choice. So I don't know if you guys had thought about what you're going to be spending it on. You also have other options. You can use XP to purchase. You can lower the cost of wearing armor, or add bonuses to your recovery rolls, or things like that. But if you spend XP in each one of those 4 categories, once you've spent XP in all 4, you move to the next tier, and you become a tier 2 character. So, any thoughts from you guys, players leveling up?
I have lots of thoughts.
Okay.
I still want to know what edge does.
I'm looking for it. I was looking for any other thought that doesn't revolve around that, because I'm having to scour my PDF here.
Well, I'm gonna spend 4 of my XPs to ups my skill pools. You get 4 XP, and then you get 4 points, which you can distribute amongst your pools as you wish. So I'm going to put 3 of them in my intellect, bringing my intellect pool to a whopping 23. And then I'm going to put an extra one in might, because my might was only 9. And now I have 10. So I have 10 might, 10 speed, and 23 intellect.
Nice. And might, it sort of functions as the first level of hit points in this game too. When you guys take damage, or when the players take damage, they reduce, or they have to take points out of their pools. And it starts with might, then it goes to speed, and then intellect. So might is sort of your buffer if you want to keep your speed points and your intellect points.
So I gained an HP essentially, but so my intellect pool is getting up there, which I'm very pleased with, because those are the points that I use for all of my special abilities. Cost intellect points. So.
And I checked on edge. It reduces the cost of anything. So, and if you have an edge of 1 in intellect or might, anytime you expend points from those pools, it's reduced by 1.
I didn't know.
I probably said that wrong at the I don't think anybody's been doing that, so remember that going forward.
So if
it might really help.
So if I have an edge of 1 in intellect, because I'm an adept or whatever, if like I have that awesome onslaught ability, which costs me 1 intellect point to use, like just baseline, but I have 1 edge, does it now cost nothing?
Yeah.
That's like my main attack.
Yeah. No, it doesn't cost anything.
Wow. That would really have probably changed our last 2 sessions had I read the rulebook.
Yeah. If any of us had read the rulebook.
I am also taking the extra points into my might, speed, and intellect pools. So on my main body, I have upped my might and intellect by 1 and my speed by 2.
Okay.
And on my Goliath body, I am upping the might by 3 to a whopping 25.
Okay. Wow.
And the speed will be going up to 14.
Okay. So that's 1 advancement that each one of you took. Are you taking any additional advancements right now, or saving your points?
I would like to up my intellect edge to 2.
Okay. So now it reduces all the cost by 2. You don't gain points back if you spend something that's now negative.
Darn it. Just kidding. So now almost all of my abilities cost me nothing, except for erase memories, which cost me 1.
Nice. Which is pretty superhero-esque.
And also, it's great to have intellect points, because if you take intellect damage, it goes... I know this because I have abilities that do this, but it goes through armor, so your armor can't, like, deflect it, so it'll wreck your brain.
Well, people who have brains.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Just kidding. My character knows that about you. I forgot.
I am also going to take the extra edge to my pools, just because it will really help.
Yeah.
Goliath body is getting it towards the might pool, because that's all that seems to do.
Mm-hmm.
And for the regular body, I will put that into the speed pool.
Okay.
So this is what we put under tier 1 advancements on the sheet, right? Where we keep track of what we advance. So what do I put just that I...
I've been putting the name from the things as they're put in the book.
So where does it say
you guys know I'm
advancement?
not looking at the book.
I can't see the sheet.
It's the middle column of the sheet. It's the very bottom thing under all your weapons and everything.
I see.
You can track.
I think you're just putting the name of which, so that you know that you've taken 2 of those. So you don't take the same thing twice. You don't actually have to say, I put these points here. You just have to say that you took the...
So I can just put like skill pools and like edge and know that I advanced 2 of them. Okay.
And also something I checked here, edge does apply to effort too. So now that you guys each have, if you guys try to expend any effort in those tasks, it normally costs you 3 points to use 1 level of effort. So that now costs you, if you're using 1.
So for intellect, it'll cost me.
So essentially, if you want to expend any effort, then it's only going to cost you 1.
Oh, that's legit.
Yeah, which is awesome, because effort is what you use to reduce the difficulty of tasks, which for superheroes are usually pretty high.
And so you said this already, but I just want to make sure that I understand. So once you've advanced all 4 things in the tier once, then you go up to
tier
the
2.
next level. Okay.
Mhm.
So what are the other 2 things?
The other 2 things are, you might have it on your thing, Alex. I went to a different page. I don't know if you're still on it.
I'm still on it, yeah. So, we've both done the increasing capabilities, which is to add to your stat pools. We've both done moving towards perfection, which is extra edge. Extra effort increases your effort score by 1. You can become trained in 1 skill of your choice, other than attack or defense. If you choose a skill that you're already trained in, you become specialized in that skill. And there are other options, such as removing the cost for wearing armor, which lowers the speed penalty for wearing the armor by 1, and adding 2 to your recovery rolls.
That might be a good thing for me to do next time around. Because I don't wear any armor. Because I can't.
Yeah. Which I think you each have enough to get 1 more advancement if you wanted to.
I am taking an extra for my effort pool.
Okay, so you're doing the edge, effort, and the ability, or the increasing your pools. Nice.
So if I wanted to... I don't know where the armor and stuff is in the book, but so if I wanted to use as some of my XP to now be able to wear armor, how do I get armor? Do I have to like buy armor?
No, you're superheroes. You
Is
got
this
armor
like
given to
D&D?
you. No, yeah, I mean, for stuff like that, if you have the ability to wear it, I'm just going to say, I mean, you guys have access to all of the funds and resources of both Wonder and E.I.N at this point, which is, extensive. So, yeah, I'm not really worried about your guys' financial situation. So you could get some armor if you wanted to. The armor is on page...
I found it. It's on 184.
184 is what I was obviously about to say. So yeah, you could become trained in light armor, I guess. Or does it say which armor?
That seems right, since I fly around a lot. I don't know. Anyone can wear armor. It increases the cost of using a level of effort. So I could wear light armor and then negate that additional effort cost.
Yeah.
And then how much armor does light armor give me?
2.
Ooh, I would have 3 whole armors. Okay, I'm gonna do that then.
Okay.
So I'll have like 2 XP left, but...
Yeah. So it increases your speed effort cost, I think is what it is. Yeah.
Right, but if I use my XP to be trained in it, then it negates it, right? Because that's why I wasn't wearing it before.
I think so. We'll go with that.
Yay!
Makes sense.
I have armor.
Okay. So, is that it for advancements then for everybody?
Yep, because I have 0 XPs left.
I have 2.
Cool.
I don't think you can spend 2 XP on anything.
I mean, there's stuff you can spend XP on, I think, but we've already spent enough time on this.
How much did I spend on armor? Is it 4 like everything else?
Yeah,
okay.
I think. Again, I've already forgotten what page that was on. It's 2. Need to bookmark this PDF.
It is 4 points. It's 223 that bit's on.
Okay.
I was still on the page.
Awesome. All right. Now I don't need to go back to that freaking page. All right. So we'll do that then. We good? Go and ready to start?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Let's do some dramatic music. So, the last adventure we had, the last time our heroes had been had joined forces to take on the realms of evil and the F.R.O.S.T organization. You had dealt with an attack, a global attack by F.R.O.S.T, which is the antithesis of wonder, essentially. You had sorry, the music's distracting me. I did that to myself.
It's so epic.
Else. I know. So essentially, as you had dealt with your last encounter with Mr. Genocide, you had been gathered to a debriefing in which you had been reporting to Wonder, to your superiors, the threat that you had dealt with. At which point there was a breach, there was a hack by F.R.O.S.T, and a global panic ensued as a number of F.R.O.S.T units had begun attacking different cities across the world. In Tokyo, where you guys are, one of the E.I.N facilities had been breached, and a number of clone soldiers had been corrupted and sent out into the streets to attack the people of downtown Tokyo. You fought off these VAT rejects, making your way to the E.I.N facility via armored car, and in a rather epic showing, drove straight into the facility and breached the interior. It was there that you encountered Karma and Wrath, two F.R.O.S.T members. You had a rather intense fight with Wrath, who proved to be a significant foe for your group, and as it seemed that she might deal a killing blow to one of you, if not all of you, Karma, who had been approached by Cerebellix during the fray, was convinced to turn over a new leaf, to turn to your side, seeming to not be fully invested in what F.R.O.S.T was doing. She, using her psychic powers, was able to reflect Wrath's attacks back on herself, causing Wrath to be killed in the process. As you took Karma into custody for debriefing to find out exactly what it was that she knew and what was going on, Wrath's body was taken via EMCs to some undisclosed location, and you all were celebrated as heroes once again. And we ended with a rather dramatic scene with Wrath rising from the dead and killing the paramedics who were transporting, and the guards that were transporting her and driving off in the truck. So where we pick up our adventure here today, or the next chapter of our story, is not in our typical setting of the Wonder headquarters in Tokyo, but instead we pan out over the city and pan far, far to the south across the oceans, eventually emerging through the cloud cover across the island continent of Australia, just off the coast, where you see the now technologically advanced, this pseudo-futuristic view of downtown Sydney, with hover cars and all what you'd expect in a future sci-fi setting. However, we then pan away from the city and out towards the ocean once again, a few miles off the coast, to a small island, which seems desolate and uninhabited, but we watch as you see a helicopter approaching in the distance that kind of winds down towards the island, drifting just a little bit off of this bleak and rocky shore. And as it passes close towards the island, it suddenly zoom, shimmers and disappears. And we sort of follow with the camera, follow past where you saw the helicopter disappear, and you realize that the rocky exterior of the island is a hologram, an illusion. As you pass through it, you can see obscured and hidden under this island is a gray, or stark gray, sleek, multi-tiered facility, another E.I.N facility. Heavily guarded. You see mounted turrets and guards patrolling the walls. This is a E.I.N prison complex, and as we see it in this, again in the cinematic, you see across the bottom of the screen, E.I.N sub base 55. And that's where we begin our adventure. As the helicopter lands, you see stepping out a number of guards, as well as a currently handcuffed and with a hood over her head, though you still see the pink hoodie underneath. You see Karma being transported into this prison facility, and as she's led forward, then stepping out of the helicopter, you see the mechanized body of Machina, currently in your speed form, or I forget the other one. It's the just a regular protocol.
It's just the standard body. I haven't given it a name.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it had a name, but just Machina in your non-Goliath body, stepping out of the helicopter, followed by Cerebellix. The two of you exit, having been transported here as part of the escort for this prison transfer, and one of the guards approaches, wearing their black E.I.N guard uniform. They have a pistol holster at the side and wearing classic badass dark shades, and says, E.I.N, Cerebellix, good to see you here. Hopefully the transport wasn't eventful.
We weren't attacked. The ride went smoothly. The operation seems to have been a success.
Good. Is that her? Nods over towards Karma.
Yeah, that's her.
All right. We've got an interrogation cell set up. Figured we want to debrief her. Assume you'd want to take part in the process.
Absolutely.
All right. Follow us. I assume you've never been to Subbase 55 before. No. Yeah. You'd assume when I ask you those things that you haven't, unless you think that you have. He says,
No.
All right, then. We'll give you the tour. And he motions you to go forward. You see there, Karma is taken off one direction down a ramp. You're led a different direction. She's being taken more directly to the interrogation chambers, and you're being sort of taken on a tour.
I just would like it to be known that the whole helicopter ride here, I was making bad Jurassic Park jokes.
Okay. All right. And he takes you to the Velociraptor containment facility. No, he leads you off of the helicopter pad towards what appears to be one of the bay doors that leads into the facility. You enter through the doors that kind of slide open. This slide closed behind you, and you're led into what you expect is most E.I.N architecture. It's very minimalistic, very modern, white floor, tile floors and walls, or laminate tile floors and walls. You see black security cameras at each hallway intersection and corner. It's very well guarded. Every once in a while, a set of scientists in white lab coats will pass by, muttering about beakers and Bunsen burners, and then you'll round a corner and there will be some guards stationed beside a door, and they take you through the facility, showing you a couple of the different containment areas. You see this is more of like a prison complex than anything for specially or for super powered individuals. You're led through a massive chamber or into one of the holding areas, and you can see the walls lined with multiple ledges and doorways on each of the ledges, where small sort of visual portholes where you can see individuals sort of sneering out at you, banging on the walls or banging on the doors, though you can't hear anything. It's perfectly soundproofed, and though you hear them screaming and yelling probably all sorts of obscenities, it's perfectly silent and calm in here. And there's this sort of light music kind of playing, just enough to give it some ambiance for the guards that are stationed here, but for the most part it's actually peaceful until you notice all the dangerous criminals that are currently being kept here. As you make your way through the facility, eventually you're led to a very large set of like blast doors, where the guard who's escorting you takes out an ID badge off of his collar and scans it at the door. As he does, the doors slide open and you see a darkened room beyond. There are dozens and dozens of monitors lining this room and a few chairs with people sitting at it. Some of them turn around as the light comes in from the hallway you're entering from, but for the most part, they remain at the work. And you see all these monitors with depicting the guards and go on their patrols and different prisoners, and kind of flashes between prison cell and prison cell to show what each of those prisoners is currently doing. But at the center of this room, there's a man standing there in brown leathers, really rugged looking. His arms, so he's kind of wearing he doesn't have any sleeves on. He's got like very kind of protruding muscles, cartoonishly so, with like dense like arm hair, kind of sort of Hugh Jackman like. And he has his head is mostly bald. He has a little bit of hair around the side. You can see he's definitely balding and has a thick beard. He's standing at the center of the room, keeping his arms crossed as he's just sort of watching. And you immediately, or both of you, sort of recognize this individual. You know who this person is as soon as you see them, especially by the two like titanium hand axes that he has on his side, each one sort of coiled near a kind of looped onto a coiled chain. And you're both very familiar with this superhero, one of the founding members of Wonder, the Fantastic Axeman. And he, as he's known to the populace, and he turns around to you as you come through and gives a big kind of white smile and says, "Well, newbies here. Welcome. Cerebellix Machina, right?"
Correct.
All right. Good work with Wrath. I heard about that. I've had a few scraps with that one along the way. Good to see that you made it through. So, I guess it's to business then. Unless, did you get the tour? You need anything? Any drinks? Got a good cantina downstairs.
I think we'll pass for now.
All right, suit yourself. So, this one, he kind of looks to the monitor and taps one of the guards on the shoulder, and they immediately kind of fidget with a couple of keys. And you see one on a few of the monitors plastered up is a white holding cell with a table and two chairs at the center of it. And sitting at one of the chairs is Karma, who's kind of looking around a bit scared. She's got a drink in front of her that she's currently holding, kind of hunched over it. There is a an individual standing or kind of sitting halfway on the corner of the table on the other side of or in the room with her that seems to be talking with her, that you're not getting any audio. And he gestures up. He says, Karma, right? Is that what she's going by? So, what can you tell me about her?
Not much. She's young. She's immensely powerful. And was, extremely misled by our Frost friends.
So what'd you do to make her switch to our side then?
Just talk to her.
All right. Well, fair enough. He watches for a bit. He says, I don't know how much we're going to get out of this one. She's young. Probably didn't even know what she was getting into. I heard you... Yeah.
It wouldn't be a stretch to assume she was just being used for her powers to influence the mass-produced soldiers.
You're probably right. But we don't know much about her. We at least know that whoever she was, Frost put a lot of effort into erasing her identity. So there might be some answers to get here. I heard you built up a little bit of a rapport with her.
Well, I hate to be that guy, but it is kind of my job.
Well, you go take the first shot talking to her then.
All right.
Okay. I'll wait here. Keep an eye on it. It's not really my thing. So let me know if you need anything else. But otherwise, good luck. And we'll do a debriefing in 0900. Sound good? All right. So you're left to your business. The guard that escorted you in says, all right, to the holding facility then?
Please.
All right. And ushers you back out the door. You follow the winding pathways and the corridors for a while, eventually making it to the side of the complex where you enter another room where this one is also darkened like the one before, but there is a large two-way mirror that you are currently on the visible side of, and you can see Karma in there beyond. The guard that was in there is now in the room here. They are the two or three guards that are currently in the room are chatting amongst themselves, and as you enter, the one that had been speaking with her is sort of a middle-aged man, sort of unrecognized or reckonable, or doesn't really have any distinguishing features to him. Just kind of shrugs and says, I tried speaking with her. She's not really saying anything. I don't know if you have any ways of getting her to talk.
I do.
All right.
She's my friend.
Yeah, that works too. We'll stay out here.
Do you want me to come in with you, or should I remain outside?
Your choice.
I'm not really good at talking to people, so I'll remain outside.
Okay. So, Cerebellix, you go to enter.
Can I ask a question really quick?
Yeah.
Because it's been like 6 weeks or something since we played this game. I remember the conversation that we had. Did she tell me what her actual name was? Karma. I feel like that was part of the conversation we had, but it's been a really long time.
Yeah, she did. 1 second. I definitely know the name.
Of course you do. Why wouldn't you?
I'm just pausing for dramatic effect.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was...
I'm so caught up in the tension.
I know. It definitely was. I don't have the name. I don't have the name, so I'm going to say, sure, she told you her name, but I don't remember what it was.
Well, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, that is really bad note keeping on Game Master's part.
That's okay. We'll go back and watch the video sometime. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Just
I
pretend.
know I did tell you the name. I just don't remember what it was.
Well, this is a game of pretend, so let's just pretend that I sit down and we'll address her by her actual name instead of Karma at first. Unless you prefer I call you Karma. It's pretty cool.
So you sit at the table across from her, and she is still kind of, she has her hood kind of pulled back up now that the sack has been taken off her head, and as she's leaning over the cup of water in front of her, she says, "Karma's fine."
You do remember me, right?
Yeah.
Sorry they stuck you in this room.
Looks around. She says, I sort of assumed that this would happen.
Oh. Protocols and rules and all that. Are you alright?
Yeah, they were just asking me questions.
They weren't mean, they didn't harm you.
No.
Good. Well, I assume you know why I'm here.
I assume you want to ask me questions too.
Are you going to answer them?
She kind of looks around at some of the security cameras in the room and says, "If I tell you, bad things are going to happen."
What do you mean?
Bad things always happen to people when I'm around.
I don't think that's true. The last time my friends and I were around you, nothing bad happened. The opposite sort of happened, actually. We got rid of a very dangerous criminal. We saved a lot of people, and you helped.
Do you have got a persuasion or an empathy skill or something?
Well, I happen to be an empathic adept. I have training in social interactions.
That works. Make a social interaction roll.
Okay.
Target number is going to be. I'm going to put this at a difficulty 3.
Okay. I rolled a 16, which beats a 5.
Yeah, that's really good. So she sort of nods and takes a sip at her drink. She says, "I guess you're right. She sinks down again and she says, "I'll tell you what you want to know, but like I said, bad things are going to happen if I do. They're watching. They're always watching."
Who is they?
Frost.
Would it make you feel better if we turned the cameras off? I could bring my buddy Machina in here and we could talk to him instead. He's good at remembering things.
Which one was he? Was he the one with the gun?
No, the big robot.
Oh, sure.
Okay. I go back to the door. Well,
Okay.
I'll be right back. I'll like step outside so she can't hear me.
Okay. It closes behind you.
Machina. Question. Should have asked this
Yes.
before. Can you always record stuff? Or is it
Yes.
just that's not just the big guy?
I can always do that.
It would, and I'll address him and also whatever guards been here. Make this conversation much easier if perhaps we could turn the cameras off.
The guard sitting there kind of says, that's really against protocol.
Well, I wasn't really asking.
As he goes to respond, you kind of hear kind of a over the comms of the room and says, "Shut him off," from Axeman.
Thank you, dear. And
Flips a switch on the wall. You saw the monitors go black.
Yeah, Machina, you can record for later?
I can.
Do you mind?
I do not.
She likes you, okay. I think she's just afraid of Sentinel.
Given his display at the incident site, understandable.
All
Says
right.
the guy who was 10 foot tall and punched Strath across the room.
Did happen. Yeah, but she asked if you were the one with the gun, so... Well, if you don't mind, join me?
Okay.
Okay. So you both enter the room. Doors slide open and close behind you. And Machina, you turn on your recording software. There's like a little red light on the back of his head that starts like beep, beep. And as you enter, she kind of looks up at you. She goes, "Oh, hi. Okay. Are they off?"
They're off.
All right. What do you want to know?
Well, I think first we want to know about you. To be honest, either you or whoever was, we'll say in charge of you, I guess, at the time, has done a very good job of erasing you from records, anything.
She says, "Yeah, they're good at that. That's Zeitgeist."
Are we familiar with Zeitgeist?
Yeah. He introduced himself in the video that sort of preceded all of the chaos that ensued
That's right, I remember.
last time. Yeah. And he's known in your dossiers as being like the leader of F.R.O.S.T.
So?
There's not really much to it. I grew up here on Earth. She kind of shifts uncomfortably for a bit. She says, I was born in San Francisco. My dad left before I ever knew him. Mom was a gambler. Lost a lot of money, more than she ever made. Made me steal stuff. And one day I took something, and I don't know, like I said, it was some sort of cursed relic or something. I don't really know what it was. But since then, just bad things started happening. It was good at first because Mom left, and then Frost took me in, which was better than what it was before, but then more bad stuff started happening, and I started being able to do things like you saw before. Wrath trained me and then made me a member. That was about a little bit over a year ago.
So you didn't always have abilities.
No.
Interesting. How old are you?
17.
What can you tell us about Frost? About Zeitgeist?
They didn't really tell me much. I mean, Wrath told me what I needed to. She was my handler. We went on jobs together, but her and Zeitgeist always talked in private whenever there was anything important to say. Her and them and the others. There weren't a whole lot that knew what was going on. I didn't even know about the attacks until right before they sent me here. I mean, I don't know what else you need to know or what you don't know.
When they sent you on this last job with Wrath, this last whole debacle, what did they tell you? What was your assignment? What were you meant to accomplish?
All that they told me was that we were gonna come to Earth and we would be assigned to Tokyo. They said that there was a facility and that I could use my powers to control some of the clones that they had there, that I could make them fight for us. Wasn't too hard. They said that would be the beginnings of our army.
And what do you need an army for?
I don't know. But they didn't act like this was going to be the only attack. This was just, they called it stage 1. I don't know what else there was going to be after this. I was going to be told once we had finished.
Okay. So when you weren't out on jobs with your handler, with Wrath, I assume Frost has a home base of some kind?
Yeah. She kind of, again, sort of shifts uncomfortably, and she says, I don't even think I was supposed to know this, but I kind of heard them talking about it, and I saw some maps. I don't know the exact positioning of the asteroid, but I know it's in the Kuiper Belt. And it was a pretty far journey from here.
Okay. You don't know the rest of the stages of the plan
No.
or anything?
Wrath is going to tell me after. I guess she won't tell me anymore.
What did they tell you about Wonder? About us?
I mean, nothing nice. And she kind of looks around awkwardly, like, she's afraid that what she says is going to, like, piss you off pretty bad. But she says, Zeitgeist would just, when they talked about Wonder, they just called them E.I.N lackeys, that you were just working for, that you were just attack dogs for them, meant to keep people under E.I.N's thumb.
Did he ever really say what that meant? People being under E.I.N's thumb.
Well, E.I.N controls everything. At least that's what Zeitgeist said. And all the technology and the things that they build and use, the robots, the androids, all that stuff, that was just being used to control people. And Zeitgeist wants to, I guess, stop it.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I never had any problem with androids or bots before. Doesn't really bother me, but Frost gave me a home, so I guess I just went along with it.
That makes sense.
I don't know. I just want things to go back to normal. I'm just so tired of all of this. I wish I'd never gotten these powers.
Speaking of your powers, can you remember what the relic looked like? If we can identify it, this effect may be able to be reversed.
It was a coin. Looked like it was made of iron or so it was heavy. It was dark, made of metal, and it had like an engraving on it or some sort of picture. I don't really remember what it looked like, but I remember it had like a skull and something. It looked like something like a pirate would carry around. I don't know.
Open up the 3D modeling software, alt window out.
Cursed pirate coins are much more interesting than what we deal with on a regular basis.
She says, I don't really know much about it. All I know is that my mom had me steal it from somebody important that was in town for some sort of event at the casino. And I took the coin, or I stole the case they were carrying the coin in. And well, I was going to take it and use it to buy my way out instead of giving it to my mother. And when I picked it up, it sort of glowed, gave off a weird feeling, and then it sort of disappeared.
Do you remember who you took it from?
I never really knew their name, no. I was just told to rob the guy in the fancy suit. I mean, that really was the extent of what I was.
Fair enough.
Do you remember the name of the casino?
Yeah. What was it? I think it was the Platinum Dragon. Something like that. It was one of those. It wasn't one of the big ones. It was one of the seedier ones she'd go to, mostly to get loans.
I imagine if this was indeed an important person you took it from, there may be a headline or two.
Maybe.
Is this relic stolen from Casino Mogul? Oh, those people love to be in the news.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I never really thought about it that way. I guess maybe they might know how to stop all this and make you normal again.
Is that what you really want?
I guess it's better than hurting everyone around me.
I'm sure we could look into it.
Okay.
It's not like Machina has anything to do on the weekends. He just sits around watching YouTube all day.
Just hear a cat video playing and like the internal speakers on the flip. At that point, she kind of, you hear a low growling, and she looks down at her stomach and sort of says, "Can I have something to eat? Can I eat? Am I allowed to eat?"
Of course you're allowed to eat. What do you want?
I don't know. I don't really care. I'm just hungry. I haven't eaten in a while.
What do you like? Cheeseburgers?
Yeah.
Burritos?
Sure.
Both?
Both?
Okay, both.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be good.
Alright, we'll bring you something.
Okay.
Thank you.
I guess, at least here, I can't hurt anyone. So do you leave the room?
Guess we're going on a McDonald's Chipotle run?
You head out of the room, and as the doors kind of close behind you, you see that actually Axeman is now in the room, kind of watching, and he's like, "Seemed like you were doing well. Thought I'd come down and see if there's anything I could do to help. That was some good information."
I do have a PhD.
Yeah. Well, these fucks are supposed to have PhDs too. They couldn't do that. No, that was good. Kuiper Belt. I guess that explains why we couldn't find them. He kind of snaps at a couple of the intern guards across the room and says, "Go get some food from the cantina." And the person says, "But they don't have burrito." "Well, see if they can make something. Just go." And they go rushing off. Axeman sort of leans up against the window, kind of watching into the room, sort of contemplating, and just says, "Tough break. You really think you can help her?"
We could try. Machina's got the whole internet in his head, so...
I've got the same thing on my phone. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just kidding. But yeah, sorry, I haven't had my coffee today.
I'm just going through CIA memos while they're saying that. Sorry.
He's got the deep web in there.
Yeah. He says, "I don't know. She could be pretty useful if you could convince her to join us."
That, I think, will be the hardest thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I've run into a few. I've run into a few eights that, well, weren't really eights. Got their powers from magic and curses and mumbo jumbo like that. It's not common, but it happens.
What do you mean they're not real?
Well, I mean, we got our name based on the mutations. They're not technically eights, I guess. We call them that just because it's easier as a label, but I'm not really that into labels.
I think if karma decided to melt your brain, you might think twice about not calling her real.
Yeah, no. Again, no coffee. Sorry. That's why you talk to her, not me. But yeah, I don't know if we can fix the kid. I guess we can try, see if we can track down whoever she took that thing from. Maybe they've got an answer, maybe they don't. I'll get some guys on it. Well, so what's next?
I don't know.
It could be prudent to ask if she knows the name of any other members of the Frost organization. It may give us a lead as to any current whereabouts or other places to start searching for their activities.
That's
probably a good idea. Yeah. Let's see if we can get some more information like that from her. See if we can at least get some aliases. We've got a pretty extensive collection on most of the Frost members, so just anything she's got, descriptions for any of them, at least we can know who the inner circle is and see if we can track them down. On that same note, and as he says that, there's suddenly kind of a boom, like a pulse throughout the facility, like the lights sort of surge a bit. That's not good. And as he says this, a very sort of familiar to you guys at this point, the sound begins to emanate from all of this kind of of this.
Not again.
Yeah, again, and he goes, "Oh shit, not again."
We all say it at the same time.
He goes to a panel and kind of hits the comm button on the panel and says, "Overwatch, come in." Kind of clicks the comm on. Come in. Report. Ah, shit. I'm gonna go see what's going on. They shouldn't be able to get in the facility. They're probably coming for her. You make sure nothing comes in here. I'm gonna go check out what's going on, see if I can get a status update from Overwatch. All right?
Yep.
All right. He goes rushing out of the room and down the hall.
Are we? We're not. We're no longer in the room with all the security cameras. That was a different room, right?
No, you're not. That's way off in the facility. That's where he's heading to. You guys are in a different part of the facility where the interrogation or this interrogation booth is. You're currently in the darkened room with the double pane glass. And Karma's on the other side, now sort of like standing up. And you can kind of hear her mouthing. You can't hear her words right now. It's just kind of like, hello? Hello? So, are you doing anything?
Can I put my goggles on. That I have. And can I try to use my scan ability on like our immediate vicinity in the building around us?
Okay. How far did we is the
It's within short range, but then I have the goggles that make it longer range or decrease the difficulty or something? I don't really know how being a superhero works, but
Yeah, no, it works. Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
and now because I'm even more super powerful, this ability costs me no points. I
Nice.
can just scan forever.
Forever. Yeah. So you kind of flip on your goggles, and as you do, you send out that pulse of psychic energy, and it sort of spreads throughout this corner of the facility, and you pick up all like a cluster of life forces around the people rushing down the hallways and moving about the facility. You don't really pick up anything as far as I mean, there's no like immediate like incursion. You don't see anyone. Don't pick up any forces in the immediate area that are causing any disruptions.
That's good.
So yeah, so that's what you're doing. Machina, are you doing anything?
Don't think there's really anything I can do aside from wait and see what happens.
That works.
You can't like plug into the mainframe. I don't know how you work.
I could, but I'm scared of what I'll find. I don't know what the Fantastic X-Man is into.
That scares me a little bit too. I guess we should like. Karma can probably hear the alarm. We should probably tell her that everything's okay, huh?
If you would like to go into the room, I'll remain on watch out here in case anything attempts to come in.
Okay. I'll just kind of pop into the room. Can I get in? Is the door just open?
Yeah, it just opens. You go through. The door closes
the power
behind you as you enter. You can still hear the alarm behind you, but it's much more muffled than it was before. And as you enter, she goes, "What's going on?"
We don't know yet. I don't sense anything in our immediate vicinity. So we're not sure. But I've felt like it was a mistake to just leave you in here.
She kind of like she just collapses on the chair again, just puts her head in her hands, and she says, "No, no, 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 no! I told you, bad things are gonna happen if I. They're here for me."
Okay, who is here and what bad things?
I don't know, but they probably sent somebody to get me. I knew that if I told you this and that. Zeitgeist knows everything. He is everywhere all the time. Knows everything that's going on. He must have figured it out. Must have sent someone here to, I guess, to kill me.
Well, one, that's not going to happen. Two, I'm not just going to leave you in this room. I think you're safer with us.
Okay. Well, then where are we going?
I don't know yet. But we're not just going to sit here and wait.
Okay. It's at this point, too, that you begin to hear two things. One, you hear out in the facility the muffled kind of of gunfire. And two, you hear your comms kind of click on again, and you hear Axman's voice echoing through the comms. It says, "You still there?"
We're here. What's going on?
All right, we've got a data breach. Something's hacked into the system. Looks like we've got some droids that have turned on the staff here, and well, it's not good. I'm gonna do what I can to shut down as many as. Okay, I'm gonna do as much as I can to smash as many as I can, but you should probably look out that they're probably heading your way. We gotta assume she's the target. Kind of pause for a moment. He says, "Just try to make your way to the... If you can, make your way to the mainframe. Machina, I assume you know a few things about computers and shit, right?
Correct.
All right. If the two of you can make your way down to the mainframe, just hit the hard reboot on the system, shut everything down. I'd rather have no security than having it turn on our own people right now. I'm gonna do everything I can here to keep casualties to a minimum.
Agreed. We'll make our way to the mainframe. We all take Karma with us for her own safety.
All right, just keep an eye on her. All right, over and out. And the comms go dead.
I'll bring her out of the room. Right. Karma, stay close. Stay quiet. No funny business.
She nods. She says, "Okay," and she pulls her hood back up and sort of huddles behind you. You can see her head kind of darting around as you, I assume, exit out towards the hall.
I tell her to keep an eye out because I know she's sharp.
Okay. So how are you guys navigating the facility? As far as how would you guys like to try to navigate your way down to the mainframe that you've never been to before?
I can scan for objects.
Okay.
So can I try to... I don't know, can I try to scan, like, focusing on, like, the wiring or something like that and try to figure out where it's all going?
Sure. All right.
Okay, I try to do that.
Yeah, you can make a... Does your scanning actually have like an ability tied to it or something?
No, it just says it always reveals... Scanning a creature or object always reveals its level, a measure of how powerful, dangerous, or difficult it is, and whatever facts the GM feel are pertinent about the matter and energy in that area.
Okay.
I also have, like, the science skill, if that helps.
Okay.
And knowledge.
Also, you can make a science check with let's see, the task is going to be for this. I'm going to put it at a 4.
I rolled a 19.
Wow.
Which is
That's really good.
amazing. That beats a 6.
Yeah.
I get a minor effect. I don't think that applies here.
No. I mean, yeah, we're not doing that. So, yeah, you concentrate again, scanning out your surroundings around you. You sort of sense the movement of some of the energy of the facility, the like electromagnetic interference from the technology and the panels that sort of power the facility. And you sense for a sort of like cluster of it, or where the largest concentration of that is, and you're able to sort of discern a direction to go. You don't have like an exact pinpoint of where it is right now, but you can begin making your way there. Let's see. At this point, too, Machina, you sort of get like a pop-up in your internal browser, and you didn't install ad block, unfortunately, but no, you get sort of a warning that comes up on your browser, on your internal mainframe, and it says video file corrupted.
Damn it.
What? We're being shot at?
I'm gonna have to shut down my external communications and a lot of my systems and devote some runtime to getting the video file back. I should be able to keep moving and defend if anything happens, but certain things may be beyond me during this time.
Okay.
Okay. You want to make a check to try to recover the
Yeah.
footage? Okay. What do you have that might be applicable?
I've got all my stuff to do with machines. I suppose understanding machines might be the best one. I haven't got anything that's sort of software specific yet,
Yeah.
though.
Understanding machines, I think, works. Yeah, you make one. It's going to be a pretty difficult task. For this, I'd probably put it at a 5.
17 beats difficulty 5.
Well, yeah, there you go. So yeah, you concentrate as you're beginning to rush down the hallway, and you haven't recovered it yet, though you're in the process, and you're sort of backtracing the the root cause of the data or the data corruption, and you realize at that point, and you begin to work on patching this, is that something hacked into your system, and was temporarily, based on what you're able to see and based on that check, was temporarily, but long enough to get what they needed, able to hack into your internal software and view and then damage the file.
Oh no, what if they can like control your robot brain?
Why do you think I turned my Wi-Fi off?
Hotspots are dangerous.
He pulls out his cell phone and stomps on it on the ground. They'll never find me.
Just like Jason Bourne.
So you begin to work on that as you guys are rushing through the facility. It's at this point that you round a corner and you come into a hallway that is just like festooned with gore. And there is pieces of some E.I.N personnel strewn about this perfectly white hallway, except for about a 15-foot length of it that is now red. And as you round that corner, Karma just kind of gasps for a moment seeing this and takes a few steps back.
It's okay.
Are you sure?
At this point, it has to be.
Okay. And as you say that, there's sort of this kind of click, click, click of something making its way around the corner, and you see 3 of these dog-like or canine-shaped robots with this large sort of blue glowing sensor on the front, the legs and gears whirring, sort of steps around the corner, and you see the robot is also sort of like dripping like gore and stuff at this point. And as it turns the corner and the other 2 behind it stops for a second, and you see the blue light suddenly turn red as it locks onto all of you, and you see these sort of like spines around its back suddenly lash up as a number of sort of appendages, about 7 or 8 of them, come off of it. These robot arms, each one has a spinning scythe-like rotary saw at the end of it, kind of. And you see all these now, these robot dogs with saw blades on them, suddenly come charging down the hallway in your direction.
Poochie, no!
All right, so we're going to make an initiative check.
I rolled a natural 20!
Nice.
I rolled an 8.
Not as nice.
Because now we're in combat and Alex is gonna fail me.
Okay. So that's gonna be, so the difficulty was a 5, so it was a 15. So you, Cerebellix go first, and then the enemies, and then Machina. So Cerebellix, what would you like to do?
Panic? I don't know how to go first. I would like to... I don't know what, like, the ranges mean in this game. Are they within short range of me?
Yeah. Short range is just anything, like, not in your immediate presence. It's, like...
Okay.
From immediate presence to, like, throwing distance.
Sure.
Yeah.
So knowing what I know about Machina and having hung out with him a lot, and he's kind of like a robot, can I, in good faith, make the assumption that Mind Slice probably not going to be very helpful?
Yeah, you don't gather they probably have a mind to slice.
Okay, cool. I will do then a Force Blast. And try to blast. I think I can only hit one of them. Yeah, Onslaught is 1. So if I can see one of them, I will do a Force Blast.
Okay.
What do I roll? Oh, I guess I just clicked the button, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, it's doing so good. I rolled a 3.
Yeah,
which
that
beats a 1, but I have a -4.
Oh shit.
It's -4 to the difficulty because I read the rest of the numbers.
Well, it was a difficulty 5. So that'll be a success.
Okay, then he takes 13 pew damage.
All right. Lots of pew
And
damage.
that is the one that one is like partially blocked by armor. Because it's physical damage.
Gotcha. Okay. So you, the first one comes forward, and as the saw blades are spinning, you kind of hear this like mechanized, like the speakers on the thing, kind of giving out this like hollow or tinny sort of barking noise as they round or come rushing up at you, and you quickly kind of send out a blast of this shockwave of force energy. It connects, sends it sort of scattering backwards. It gets up, and it's kind of like right now. Very, very badly damaged from that impact.
I'm just happy I hit something. This is like never happened.
Okay.
Can I can't do anything else. I tell Karma to stay behind me.
Okay. She will do that. That will put it to their turn now. So the 3, what you know, and you can probably... Machina can identify these. These are canine robotic zealous reapers, also known as crazers. And they come bounding forward, kind of this ruff, 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 barking noise. And they are going to lunge towards you. So I'm going to say they're going to make, it'll be a speed defense roll from, you hit 1, so I'm going to say 2 from Cerebellix and 1 from Machina.
What do I just roll my speed?
Speed defense, if you have defense, otherwise it's...
No. So I roll twice?
Yes. Difficulty is 15.
I rolled a 6, which is terrible. And a 4, which is worse.
Okay.
I rolled an 11.
Which is also a fail. Okay, so you take a total of... So they're each dealing 5 points of damage, reduced by armor. However, it does ignore up to 1 point of armor. So that'd be 10 total. Your armor, Cerebellix, is a 3, so that would reduce it to 2, so 4. So you took 6 points of damage. And then Machina, what's your armor?
My armor is 2.
2, so you take 3 points of damage.
Ow!
And this is just might damage for right now. It's just physical damage. And that ends their turn. Machina.
Okay. I am going to attempt to use my beam sword on Just to try to reduce the numbers, the one that's already been damaged.
Okay. Yeah.
That is a 6, which beats difficulty 2, but I've got a -3 modifier.
So that makes it a 2.
Yeah.
Because it's difficulty 5. So that works.
So that is 7 points of laser sword damage to whatever I hit.
And that one is the one that was already damaged. That one is destroyed. Yep. So you pull your beam sword, you're gonna ring, and you cut right through it. And you see that glowing melted metal as the whole thing kind of falls side to side. You just kind of hear this as it powers off. All right. So that will be Machina and put it back to Sarah Bellix.
Oh man. I will, I'll force blast another one. Why not? I can do it forever.
Okay.
I rolled a 14, and my difficulty's -4, so I can beat like an 8.
Yeah. No, that's good.
So 13.
Another 13 damage.
Damages.
All right. Which will put it back to their turn. That will be, let's see, 1 speed defense roll from each of you.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 16.
Okay. So Machina, you succeed on it, so you don't take any damage on that one.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
And you take 3 points of damage.
That's like minus. That's minus my armor and everything.
Because you have 3 points. It's 5 damage, and you're without 1 armor right now, or they're cutting through one armor. So, or ignoring 1 point of armor.
1 little might point left.
Ouch.
Yeah, I only had 10.
Yeah. That will end their turn. Machina.
Once again, beam swording the one that's been damaged.
Okay. So you wheel around with your beam sword to the other one to try to finish that one off.
I rolled a 4, which beats difficulty 1. I don't hit because I difficulty by 3.
You guys finally missed something. You swing down at this one. However, this dog now keen to your tactics here, kind of sidesteps a bit, and the blade just cuts through the air. All right, that will end theirs and Sir Bellix.
I'm gonna blast the one I blasted last time.
Okay.
That's a 13, which with my -4 difficulty beats like a million. It beats difficulty 8.
As that one sidesteps, you reach down, boosh, another pulse of psychic energy, which just like blows it into the wall and scatters it into 100 pieces, and you hear that the powering down of the doggo.
And then I use my minor action to try to adopt the last dog because I want it to be my friend.
It's more of a major action, I think.
Next turn.
If it lives. All right, that will put it to them, and that doggo is going to lunge at. I think it wants to keep going for Sarah Bellix. So Sarah Bellix, another speed defense roll.
Oh, I roll so terrible every time. Oh man, that's even worse than the last time. That's a 2.
It is. You take another 3 points of damage.
What happens when one of my things hits 0?
You are impaired.
Okay, does it carry over to another?
Yes, it carries over to speed.
Oh, jeez. I'm impaired then.
Yes.
He really bit my leg really hard.
Which does stuff that I will look up.
Rules, man.
All right. Yeah, that'll put it to Machina.
Okay. Well, I am tempted to try and tame the dog, or at least repurpose it. I think it's best if I try and do the killing thing.
Okay.
Beam sword! I rolled an 8, which beats difficulty 2. Difficulty is reduced by 3, so I believe I hit.
You do.
So that is another 7 points of beam sword slashing damage. Not a lightsaber, it's totally different in every way.
Yeah, you swing down, cutting into that one. You said it was how much again?
7.
7. Okay, that one had not been hit, so it's still up, but it is, you lop off a couple of its spinning blade arms. So it is not looking too good right now. And Cerebellix, it is your turn.
Having a real hard time not just like trying to adopt this dog. I have a problem.
By the way, impaired means effort costs 1 extra point per level at this point. So effort would cost more for you right now if you tried to use it.
And that's
not that you guys ever use effort.
I use effort if I want
to reduce the difficulty.
Yeah, reduce the difficulty. I know the rules of this game.
And you guys can do that for like speed defense rolls and things that you guys suck at. So if you ever wanted to.
Always forget that that's a thing. I'll use Onslaught one last time and try to blast this dog into tiny little scrap robot parts.
Okay.
That's a 7, which beats a 2, but my difficulty is -4.
So that hits, and that will be enough to
13 damage.
Yeah,
this thing does so much damage.
Yeah, it does. That'll be enough to destroy the last of the doggos as you blast out again. This one kind of just blasts straight into the floor and just crunch like a tin can. And that is the last of the dogs. Of the
we should get a dog. Like a super dog, like a team dog. Do you like dogs, Machina?
I could probably build one.
Like a robot dog?
These don't look incredibly complex. I'd probably do without the spinning scythe blades, though.
Let's put that on the to-do list. I know you have like an agenda app in there.
Yeah, that just goes on the list.
Yeah. Put a robot dog on the to-do list. Since we've crossed off decorating the awesome van that we have, which looks amazing. Which now has Christmas ornaments instead of pumpkin dice hanging from the mirror.
Yeah. So you you guys continuing in the direction of the mainframe?
Should we try to like sneak?
It may be prudent, yes.
I'm thinking maybe we should have done that last time.
All right. You guys make some sneak checks.
What is that?
I assume it's a speed-based roll. And if you don't have training in it, then it doesn't really matter what the what it is.
I will just roll my speed then and hope it doesn't go horribly wrong.
You can always apply effort. And don't forget about healing, too.
I was actually about to ask that question. Because I think the term is bloodied.
You can do a recovery roll. The first one only costs 1 action. So if you want to go ahead and do a recovery roll, you can.
So I get like 1 for free and then...
Mm-hmm. You get 1d. Okay. You can recover 1d6. Well, you get 1 for free. The second one takes 10 minutes. The third one is an hour, and the last one is 10 hours.
Oh,
you guys have to take a long rest.
Got a little. This is 1d6 plus 1.
Your tier. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm tier 1. Okay. I rolled. Wow, 3. Total.
That's fine. You can put them all into your might if you wanted to just get back into hail.
Oh, that would probably be good. Okay, so I have 3 back now.
Okay.
Now we can sneak.
All right.
Since I'm not like, my leg is reattached.
I rolled a 3 on my sneak check, which I suppose...
You want to put some effort into that?
You can also, you can do a reroll. Is a thing that can happen. I think you have to spend...
Nope, you could just re-roll your dice forever. That's how fun this game is.
I don't know if you have to spend a level of effort or if you have to spend an XP. I'll say you can spend... if you want to reroll, you can spend a level of effort. But
I'm spending a level of effort to reroll.
okay,
It's gonna be worse this time. I'm calling it.
So that's going to be 3 points to from your. I'll say since it's a speed check, 3 points from your speed pool. And
that time I rolled a 6.
Exactly 1 step higher.
Okay, my turn. I rolled an 18, which I think is good enough for both of us, according to the rules I just made up.
This is basically the opposite of what happens in D&D.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Okay.
I'm just amazed that we were able to hit something. I don't think we've ever hit anything in this game.
You were hitting things. So yeah, you guys go sneaking down the hallway. Not surprisingly, the person made of metal has a difficult time in a
I click on my hover boots and I hover a little off the ground, so I'm not making footsteps.
All right, that is fair enough. So you begin hovering your way down the hall. Machina sort of kind of going as quiet as you can, even in your smaller body. And as you make your way to you see at the end of the hallway some more another set of doors leading to an elevator that would descend down to the lower levels, and you're getting the sense that lower is kind of where you want to go.
It's definitely down.
As you see it, though, and you hit this point of the hallway, you hear behind you this more ruff, 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 from back the direction you came from, and about equidistant from where you currently are. At the other end of the hall, you see about 4 more of these crazers kind of look around, and then when looks over in your direction, the eye goes red. What do you all do?
Your choice, big guy. Fight or flight?
Flight. I'd prefer to not argue with all of these.
Okay.
We take off running. Well, I'm flying, but
you are
take
flying.
Off.
I'm gonna say make some speed checks to try to get down the hallway as fast as you can before getting in. These things start nipping at your heels. Do I get any
kind of like advantage because I'm hovering off the ground?
I don't know what we said the speed of your hover boots are.
6
Just
million?
Make the check, and I'll moderate it as I need to.
Oh, I rolled
the difficulty.
I rolled a 10.
Okay.
Which beats a 3.
I actually have I'm not trying it, but I have a run skill listed on my sheet for one of my things. So
yep.
I rolled a 9, which beats a 3.
We both beat 3s. Okay, so as you're running down the hallway as fast as you can away from these creatures, they are catching up and gaining on you, and you're moving as fast as your little legs can carry you. But these things are quick, little robo doggos. And as you go making your way towards the elevator doors, they are currently closed. And do you have a way, or how do you guys want to open those so you're not just running straight into a
Nope, we stand there and press the button and just wait.
Any ideas?
You're the computer.
Best way to do this. I just need to get those doors open as fast as possible, and I think the best way to do that is going to be to try and force it.
Okay.
And pray the elevator is actually on this floor.
Nah, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Okay.
Pray to the robot gods.
Will I be able to roll this with my using machines by any chance, or are you going to say it's straight strength?
I'll say you can use your using machines for this. Could see that coming into play.
I rolled another 9.
Wow, you guys love
difficulty
those.
is reduced by 1, so I'd technically be at difficulty 4 on this.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. So you're able to pry open you rush up to the doorways, kind of jamming your robot fingers in there, and then prying the doors open. As you pull the doors open, the elevator is in fact not on this level, but you do see the cables to the elevator about 5 feet out from where you currently are, and the dogs are about 15 feet away from you at this point. What do you do?
Can your boots hold 2 people?
I'm more worried about my arms than my boots, but I can try.
Okay. So I assume Karma and Cerebellix, or are you, when you say 2 people, Makina, what are you doing?
Basically, I want to get Karma and Cerebellix down, like holding on to the thing, using the boots to kind of slow the descent a bit. I'll wait for them to get a fair ways down, tanking the hits from the dogs if I have to before leaping in myself.
Okay. So Cerebellix and Karma both kind of rush in with the hover boots. You are clutching on her the best you can, and you're hovering there. You're not staying at a consistent level, and you're beginning to sort of low down like an elevator. Machina, I'll say that one of them does catch up and does get to make an attack on you. So go ahead and make a speed defense roll.
Mm-hmm. I am spending I'm spending a thing to reduce difficulty by 1.
Okay, makes it a 4.
I roll a 14, which beats a 4.
All right, you are able to just barely dodge out of the way as one of the like robot scythe blades comes whirring past you. You then turn around, seeing them out of the way, and then leap into the shaft. You're going to grab onto the cable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grab onto that cable and begin to just sort of the sparks flying off your fingers as you go descending kind of down. The crazers stop at the entrance there, kind of getting pushed a bit. One of them actually gets knocked over, and they kind of goes falling down the shaft, kind of barking the whole way. This and the others stop up at the top. They're just kind of still barking down at you. But you are now safely descending the elevator shaft, and it descends and descends and descends for a fair ways. And as you finally scrape to a halt, you stop on what appears to be the lowest level of the elevator, probably being somewhere above you. And as you land on the ground, you can see the remnants of this crazer currently kind of scattered across the bottom of this elevator shaft. And there is another set of doors. You've gone past a few dozen sets of doors. This one is now the lowest level, though, and Cerebellix, you sense that this is the way you want to be going.
I think this is it.
Let's proceed quickly and hope there's nothing too big down here. And I'll pry these doors open as well.
Okay.
Given that we're not being chased, you still want me to roll for it?
No, I think you got it. You're strong enough that you can just kind of pry them open. You pull the doors across, letting everybody make their way through. The little dog head on the ground still kind of like chomping at nothing, sort of spinning around in circles, but you ignore that and make your way out of the elevator shaft.
Actually, I want to take the head.
Okay.
So I have a thing I want to try and do.
All right, you take the little doggo head. And
I haven't thought this all the way through yet, but I can make, using my Tinker thing, it takes 1 intellect. I can make a device do something that's different from its original purpose, i.e. a blast becomes a bomb, a scanner becomes a signal booster, blah, 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 blah. I want to try and make this into something that would set off the sensors of the other mechanical dogs running around, so they try and target this.
Okay, so like a dog diversion device.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you have to make a check for it, or is it just an ability you spend some points?
It is just a thing I spend a point to do. It takes me an action. The effective level of the modified device is 1 lower than normal, though, and the device is rendered unusable until it's repaired.
Okay. Okay. So I think this definitely works. So you reprogram this little dog head, and it doesn't take a whole lot to do it. And you just kind of tweak some of the sound, the sensors on it, the speakers on it too. And now instead of making that ruff 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 ruff, it goes meow meow.
Amazing.
And it gives off this little like sort of this like greenish light instead of the red. There's some more sophisticated programming going on here, but that's the aesthetic that it sort of goes for, and it's now a dog diversion device. So, all right, you have that. Tuck it away for whenever you might need it, and you begin making your way down the hall here. This one is fairly straightforward and just heads straight off ahead of you until you round a corner and you can see up ahead the large sets of doors, and above reads a panel that says mainframe. There are three more of those crazers kind of patrolling at the end of the hall.
Can I see? Is the hallway just straight towards the mainframe, or is there like a T junction at the end where the mainframe door is?
It looks like there are some junctions kind of towards the center. Like there's some hallways that go off in opposite directions.
Okay, so I am going to. This is probably going to go horribly wrong. I'm going to attempt to sneak up towards one of the junctions, and I want to throw my distraction device down one of these hallways.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make me a stealth check.
I am spending a thing to reduce the difficulty by 1.
Okay. Spend another 3 in speed.
And roll 19.
Nice. That is really good. You sneak as far up as you can. You dart down one of the junctions here. You see the crazers just probably about like 30 or 40 yards away from you at this point. At the end of the hall, sort of patrolling near that entrance. As you see that, you take out your little device, click it on. You just want to like throw it across the hall to the other side of the junction. Okay, you take it, you just like skid it across the ground. It kind of goes clattering, making that wow, 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 as it does. And Cerebellix and Karma see this as, and you sort of see it too as you're peeking around the corner. All of the crazers suddenly kind of look that way, all their eyes go red, and they immediately go like chasing off, all their like blades whirring into action as they go chasing down the hallway towards the skittering head, which you were able to slide a fair distance down that darkened hall.
Hey, go, 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 go.
All right, you all go rushing down in the direction of the mainframe where the crazers had come from. You go through those doors and you come into a massive like switchboard room. There are dozens and dozens of like the computer towers all across the room, and these long lines in rows here powering the entire facility. The doors close behind you.
So we have to find the hard reset for the entire facility.
I look around for like just a big lever.
Okay.
I don't really know what I'm looking for, but that's what I do.
I am going to go looking through all the computer and everything for what, if there is a separate button for it, fine. If not, I will go digging through the mainframe itself to find the command prompt.
Like a big red button or something.
You've got your computer knowledge skill, right?
All my stuff is again repairing, using, crafting, identifying, and understanding machines. Those are the
understanding. Understanding works, yeah.
Right. 12 beats difficulty 4.
Nice.
Difficulty -1 because I'm trained in it.
So 5, yeah, even better. So as Cerebellix is sort of looking around like for the big switch, you sort of get a lay of the facility, and even though you haven't been here before, you're pretty certain you know where the main junction for all this would be, and you make your way to the back of the room and off to the left, and you do see where all the cables and everything sort of comes through is a big like junction panel here with a large display and a control panel there too, and it seems to be this is the main control station for the entire facility's server. And as you approach, you feel that you can pretty easily shut this thing down. So I assume you do just turn it off.
Just turn it off.
Okay.
That's what I was told to do.
You just click. No, it's more sophisticated. You tap on a lot of buttons for a little bit, and then finally enter the command codes to shut down the facility. And as you hit the last button, the whole place just and all the lights in the room go off, and it just goes pitch black.
I have a torch.
As the American in me, I was like, "Why do you have torches?" And then I realized flashlight, not like fiery torch. I was like, "Okay, Indiana Jones."
Well, he has a torch. I have a terrible thought. What if it was a ploy to get us to turn off all the power in the building? Too late now, friendos.
And as you think that thought, Cerebellus, you've been sort of scanning the facility.
Yeah.
You don't scan anything specifically, but at that moment too, there's two things you notice. One, as the facility shuts off, there's something else about it that sort of clarifies, and you realize that this entire time you've been like trying to scan around, you haven't been able to scan outside the building. You've been able to get every room and kind of get a layout of your immediate area, but something was blocking the walls every time. Like there was some sort of disruptor field in the that was surrounding or actually embedded in the walls of the outer perimeter of the facility.
And now it's off.
And now you can scan outside the facility. And as this happens too, there's this sudden sort of feeling that creeps up in like the pit of your stomach. This, you don't sense anything specifically, but it's this feeling of dread, this fear that begins to whelm in you, and you sense a darkness that has now made its way into the to the complex.
Something is very wrong.
Wrong as in we should be preparing for something?
I think we just let something in.
You also notice at this part, all the gunfire has stopped too. It seems that all the crazies have gone off, and there's no longer, you don't hear anybody anywhere around fire any weapons. See, there is, as you do, as the lights go off, there is a little bit of light around the room. You see some like emergency lights lit up. You gather some sort of secondary power source. You notice the only things that seem to be powered right now, and you know this too, Machina, since you're the one that shut it off, the only things powered right now in the facility are some like very dim emergency lighting, and the comm systems are still online.
Can you get hold of Axeman?
I can try. Axeman!
He only responds to the fantastic Axeman.
Fantastic Axeman. You alive?
You there's a pause for a moment, and you hear just like a yeah, we're good up here. What's going on?
Keep eyes out. Something is in here.
What?
Something dark, I don't know, but something bad.
It's probably coming for karma. What's your
shit,
position?
Axeman. All right.
What's your position? We'll come provide support.
In the mainframe, who do you think? Hold on.
Shuts off.
We need to get out of here right now.
Fair enough. Where to? I'm sure there's at least a stairway we can use to get upwards. Don't have to worry about the dogs anymore.
Yeah, good job, by the way. I started scanning for a way out.
Okay. You do your scan and you sense around you. There does not seem, probably a fire hazard. There don't seem to be any stairs on this level.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal.
It's probably is if this place didn't like make the law. There aren't any stairs at this level. The only way that you can that you're sensing, as you sense back towards the elevator, there is like a maintenance ladder that leads up the elevator shaft. That could get you back up to the higher levels. However, as you're sensing that direction, you also sense that the elevator is moving, and that it is currently lowering.
Bad news. Elevator coming down.
The elevator also being powered by the emergency system because it's the only way to move around in the facility.
Don't use the elevator in a fire, kids.
You can use this elevator in a fire.
You still shouldn't.
And it
Bad news! Elevator is coming down right now, and I don't feel like Axeman is the type to use the elevator. Just saying.
Fair enough. Second plan, do we barricade this room and try to reactivate the security from here?
I don't have a better plan. My plan is hide. So, yes.
Okay.
I will work on getting the door to lock down then.
All right.
While he's doing that, I'm scanning and trying to figure out what is in the elevator. Or who. Probably
okay.
What's in the elevator.
Okay. You begin scanning the elevator. It's not quite within your range at this point. You're just sensing that something is coming down. But you're focusing on that. So Magna, you're gonna try to reboot the system?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. You can make me another understanding machines check.
Mm-hmm. 6.
Okay.
With my -1, I beat a 3.
All right. You go to. All right. Here's one thing I forgot to do earlier. You do get. I forgot to give it to you before. You do get a GM intrusion for the file corruption earlier. I forgot to give you one for that. So you get an XP point for that.
Mm-hmm.
And you give one to somebody else, and there's only one other person here. So
yeah.
Savannah gets one too.
Please choose me.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. But it reminds me, because as you're going to hack into this and trying to reboot the systems, you're finding the same backdoors that you used to shut it down are like they locked themselves behind it. They're now like passwalls put in there preventing you from turning it back on. And you're starting to get the sense that whatever happened before, whatever data breach happened before, it was unable to do a hard reset of the systems. They weren't able to shut the facility down, but they were able to set some sort of Trojan horse file that is now making it more difficult to turn everything back on. As that happens, Cerebellix, you're sensing the elevator, and you are sensing a life force in the elevator. Somebody is getting a psychic connection with somebody that is descending. It does seem, based on your familiarity with them, does seem like it is Axeman that is in the elevator.
I don't trust it.
You're getting a weird aura from Axeman.
I attempt, never tried this before, to use my telepathic ability to try to telepathically communicate with Machina.
Okay.
I don't know if I can or not, but I'm gonna try.
I feel like we decided at some point that you have no. It was Sentinel that you have like that permanent connection.
Yeah, this is an ability that I have that's different. It just says I can speak telepathically with others who are within short range. It's two-way. The other party must be willing and able to communicate. I don't have to see them, but I have to know that they're in range.
Well, I'll leave it up to Machina. Do you have any organic components that would allow you to have this communication?
I do not. We'd already decided on that ages ago, and I'm also immune to sort of psychic attacks as well for that same reason.
Yes. So you tried to communicate with them, and you're like, shit.
Damn it. I can. Okay, then I try to establish a telepathic link with Karma.
Okay. She's currently huddling behind you.
Great. Just so I don't have to talk out loud. And if she's willing and able to communicate, I just say it's Axeman, but something is wrong. Be on your guard. And then I don't worry too much about Machina because I feel like he's always on his guard. So.
Okay. So you guys just waiting here to see who comes through the doors?
I don't want to hide.
Okay. You guys make some stealth checks then.
Can I do you have to say you're going to do effort before you roll?
Typically, because you guys are getting used to it, I don't want to punish you for trying
No,
to
it's fine,
effort,
it's fine. I rolled an 8. It's
okay.
not very
you
good.
can use the effort to re-roll if you want to. Since we established you can do that.
No, I'm just going to leave it.
Okay.
I rolled a 19 on my stealth.
Ninja Machina. Okay. You go darting off into the shadows. Several you do your best to start pressing yourself up against some of these computer towers. Karma does the same, pretty close to you. And as you hide, you all hear kind of a of the doors opening and closing. And you hear footsteps. Kush, 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 kush. You in here? Hello? All right, let's not play games. I know you're in here. Kush, kush, kush. You hear the sounds of chains kind of jingling.
From where I'm hidden, can I get a vantage point to at least have a peek at Axeman?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd say with that stealth check you can. Yeah, it's a minor effect. You can do that. You sort of make your way around as you hear him going. You kind of push your way around one of the towers there, enough to watch him go in the other direction. It does appear to be Axeman. It looks nothing discernible about him, though he's currently holding an axe. His axe is in each hand, with the chain sort of draping underneath, kind of fastened to his the chains are fastened to wrist guards that he wears, and then to the axes themselves. And he's currently brandishing his weapons.
Is he anywhere near me?
He sounds like he's getting closer.
Okay.
I will step out.
Okay. You step out. As you step out from the shadows, with cat-like agility, he wheels around and looks towards you, kind of taking his like a battle stance. And you do notice in that moment there is like a purple sheen to his eyes that wasn't like that before, though they were pretty before. And he kind of has that same like wide white smile as he's looking at you. He says, Well, hey there, Machina. Where's the girl at?
I don't know. I instructed them to hide. To hide as the power went off. We did not know if there was anyone else coming down here. For safety's sake, I made sure that they didn't tell me where they were going.
Make a deception check.
While this is happening,
Uh,
my telepathic link lasts for 10 minutes, so I tell Karma to stay put, and I start creeping a little bit closer to Axeman.
okay. So-
That'd be straight up intellect because I'm not trained in it.
Yes, and make another stealth check, Cerebellix.
I only rolled a 4.
Sort of fits. He kind of.
I also rolled a 4.
All right. And what were you going to be doing, Cerebellix?
I just want to creep a little bit closer. So I can maybe like jump on him in a second, but not yet.
Okay. All right.
I start creeping into immediate range.
Okay, so you were creeping up and you were going to try jumping on him to like grapple him essentially, or try to like restrain him.
I just need to be able to like touch him.
Okay.
I just want to like grab him and see if I can surprise him.
So Cerebellix is sort of sneaking up behind to try to touch Axeman. He's looking at you with a smile and he says, come on, you can do better than that. Both of you. And he just kind of casually lunges to the lurches to the side a bit as Cerebellix lunges forward to try to touch him, and he's sending you stumbling in front. At which point
is he considered within immediate range of me?
He is within immediate range of you.
I do erase memories, and I try to erase the last 5 minutes of his memory to just confuse the shit out of him.
Interesting.
I have to make an intellect roll? It doesn't say of what. But I just want to just confuse the hell out of him.
So I assume it's probably determined by his difficulty. Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah. So that will okay. You can certainly attempt that. So go ahead and make an intellect roll, and then you do have a power shift in it.
I do. So the difficulty is decreased by 1, and also I have 2 edge in intellect, so it's decreased more. Is that how that works?
Edge reduces the cost.
Oh dang. Okay. Well, so then it only costs me 1 point to do. So but the difficulty is reduced by 1, and then I will use an effort,
which only costs 1 because
which
you have 2
only
edge.
Costs me 1.
So that reduces it by 2.
Yes.
Okay. So it was a difficulty 8. Now it's going to be a difficulty 6.
Can I do more effort? No, I only have 1.
You only have 1, yeah.
Okay.
Because you didn't take that.
Oh, I rolled like shit. I rolled a 3.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. I'm like so smart.
You are so smart, but this is a really powerful entity that you are now trying to erase the memories of. And as you attempt that, you look and there's a sort of warbling to the air. And with like lesser beings, so with Axeman, you would assume you'd probably be able to do this pretty easily. Axeman's not that smart. There is something that sort of, there's that sheen to the eyes intensifies for a moment and seems to almost nullify that energy. And he continues smiling and says, well, if you're here, she must be nearby. I'll just kill you first. And he like drops both axes to the ground. They're dangling down by lengths of shadows. He begins to spin them around. Make initiative checks.
Feel like I should have tried to pack the other body.
I rolled a 10.
We need to determine whether you can summon it like Thor's hammer and just start saying gush, 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 gush through the walls.
I also rolled a 10.
Okay, so he is going to be going first. Yes. So he, as the axes kind of go hissing through the air, giving off this whistle. He then lunges out with both of them towards each one of you. So you both need to make a speed defense roll.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 4.
All right, so that'll be it'll be 5 points reduced by your armor. This ones aren't piercing, so just straight up.
Yeah.
I'm impaired.
Okay. All right. That will end his turn as he's just lashed out with both of you, like cutting into both of you, and temporarily the axes embed themselves, and then he yanks them back out towards him, catching them in the air with the superhuman dexterity and strength.
Are you telling me that he's a superhuman?
Yeah,
that he's a superhero?
He's not just a guy holding axes.
Dang it.
He's just fantastic at it. So that's up the two of you now. Who wants to go first?
Go for it, big guy.
I want to run up and get as in his face as possible, and I need to put some hurt on him. So I'm going to go for the beam sword.
Okay.
I rolled a 5, which beats a 1. Difficulty reduced by 3, though.
For him, that just misses. Is difficulty 5, so that would put it down to a 2. So yeah, just barely. You go to slash at him. He just dodges out of the way. The axe is barely grazing, just a few little whiskers off his beard, or the beam sword just barely singeing his beard. All right, I think that'll be your turn there. So Sarah Bellix, what do you want to do?
Well, I want to ask a question, first of all, because it's literally the only thing I know how to do in this game. So based on the fact that my, most amazing and most powerful ability was just, melted by this guy, I do have this thing that I read on my sheet, I guess. Do I get the feeling that this is, a psychic type thing? Because a lot of the stuff that's on my sheet is other beings that have psychic powers will seek out to destroy beings like that. Is this some psychic force like me and karma, or is this just a really big powerful thingy?
It's similar, yeah. I mean, it is partially psychic in what it does.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna use my brain powers on it then. I'll use Onslaught, but this time I'll use Mind Slice.
Okay.
I'll try to slice his mind.
Make your mind slicing attack.
Well, I rolled a 17, which beats a 5, and also my mod is minus a million. It's minus 5 for this, for the difficulty.
And you get a
and I get damage. A +1 damage, so I do 12 intellect damage, which cuts straight through armor, because it goes to your brain.
Okay. You lash out with that mind slice. Here's something interesting that happens here too. So as you cut out, and you're going to target the mental acuity of Axeman, you hit and you feel that connection. You tear at that psychic link, but you don't feel like you're hitting Axeman. You feel like you're hitting something else. And
good. That was my next question.
You all see at that point there's that flare of purple is suddenly kind of there's this this sheen to it again, and this mist almost that pulls out of Axeman. You see this other human form kind of briefly pull itself out and then snap back in, and he looks towards you kind of.
In that moment, can I yell?
Sure.
As it's pulling out, can I try to yell to Axeman to fight it?
Yeah.
I do fight that. Axeman, okay. Fight it.
Yeah, and you can see in the moment that link it was definitely severed in that moment. That it took whatever entity is now you're realizing possessing him took some damage from that.
Try not to kill him.
All right. That will end your guys. Put it back to Axeman. Takes the axes, whoosh, lunges out towards each one of you again, but taking special care to try to hit you, Cerebellix. So both of you make speed defense rolls.
Those are about to die.
I rolled an 11.
I rolled a 20!
Nice. So you get a major effect, which I don't think there's anything for a defense roll. I don't know what your major effect for your...
It's that I can take another action on my turn.
Okay.
That's just what I have on my sheet.
Yeah, typically that would be for... I'll let that work. Yeah, you can take that on your turn for the 20. And for
I inspire myself.
For not Machina, it slams in the side of you, embedding in your chest, and then ripping out, pulling some more circuitry and stuff along the way. So you take another 5 points of damage, reduced by your armor.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's all he's got. So back to the two of you, Machina, since you went first last time.
I'm still going for the beam sword.
Okay.
18.
Damn. Okay.
That is with +2 damage as well, so that is 9 damage to him.
9 damage. Nice. So you go and you plunge the beam sword into Axeman, and you can see the blade hits, embedding itself and dealing a pretty good amount of damage to him, to his form. And you don't... He's taking damage, and you definitely see that's affecting him, but you don't see as much reaction of pain from that as you did from that psychic attack.
I'll point out my main goal is to just kind of disable Axeman so he can't fight anymore. I'm not trying to just cut him into chunks.
Don't kill him. I like him.
I figured you're not trying to kill him.
I want to keep this one.
You're trying to go for some of the weak points and trying to at least incapacitate him so he can't swing, he can't axe you as much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can't axe for much more.
Oh my god. Cerebellix.
I would like to mind slice him.
Okay.
Again.
Go for it for your first action.
And that's a 12, which beats a 4, but my difficulty is -5 for mind slice, so it beats a -1.
Well, it was and this is an intellect thing, so yeah. So it was an 8, so that reduces it to enough. So he
takes 11 more brain damage.
All right.
And can I tell? I guess I know where she is. Where Karma is. Is she just still hiding?
Yeah, she's still hiding.
Okay, she's not within like his immediate axing range.
No.
Then I mind slice him again.
Okay.
I rolled an 11, which beats a 3, but my difficulty is -5.
It just barely hits.
Okay, so he takes 11 more psychic damage, and again, the intellect damage ignores armor because it goes through your brain.
Yeah, that's another significant amount of damage as you send that 2 more bolts just simultaneously into this entity. Again, you see that form kind of pull itself from, and as it does this time, it lasts a little bit longer. There's more of a separation there, and you can see Axeman sort of struggling against it, and you can see that sense of will and see him fighting it before it snaps back into the form.
Come on, Axeman!
All right. That will put it to his turn. However, instead of swinging axes, he is going to look over towards you. There's another shimmer again, Cerebellix. Reaches over and just grasps onto the side of your head. And you feel this psychic intrusion as that force sort of shimmers out and towards you. I need you to make
my brain.
Intellect defense roll.
Okay. This should be better than my other ones, right? Because I have edge and stuff. I don't know.
You can expend effort if you want to.
Yeah, I do that.
Are you trained in intellect defense?
Probably not. No, I'm not, because I remember this, because my empathic trait would have given me a negative and I used my power shift to negate it, so I just have regular old defense.
That's right.
But I'm gonna do an effort, which is only 1 intellect for me, which makes the difficulty go down?
Yes.
Well, I rolled a 4.
All right. It's not enough as you see this shimmering form, that ghostly apparition shift itself out of Axeman and then into Cerebellix. Now Cerebellix having a sheen over her eyes, and Axeman kind of, what happened? Cerebellix is now possessed.
No!
You were possessed, and whatever it was has gone into Cerebellix.
Oh shit.
Good thing I'm already impaired.
Yeah. He says, we have to get her down. It's Phantasm. And that's all he's got on his turn. So that'll put it back to Makina.
Okay. I mean, if he didn't want to try and go for the immortal body over here, that's on him.
Choices were made.
Yeah.
You might gather that you might have been immune to being possessed as a robot.
You could, like, probably knock me unconscious, like, 1 hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try and do that.
I forgive you!
Rolled a 6, beats a 2, but I've got the -3 mod.
Okay. So here's the thing when it's PC versus... So we decide what your defense would be. Just make a speed defense roll. We're just going to do one against another.
Okay.
Since it's PC on PC.
Oh, well, I rolled in classic me form a 3.
Okay, so you take 7 points of damage, reduced to 4.
And that comes off my speed. Because
Yeah,
my might is at 0.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that was half of it.
And at that point, too, Karma is going to come running up to you, and she like clasps onto your arm, Cerebellix, and she says, "Get out of her!" And she sends like a pulse of her own psychic energy into. Make another intellect defense roll.
15. It beats a 5.
You want to expend any effort on that?
Well, here's my question. What am I, like, trying to do? If I roll high, will the thing get out of me, or am I rolling to, like...
You're rolling to resist.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
So that's -1
Yes.
point. Okay.
Which will be enough. Because she is reducing it with her attack. And at that point, as she sends that psychic energy, there is a pulse, and you see that shimmering form get expelled out of Cerebellix. And now hovering there in the middle of the vicinity is a ghostly sort of apparition, a skeletal human-like person just sort of hovering there, this purple vapor dripping off them in all directions, leers around at all of you and says, looks over towards Karma. "I'm taking her," and goes to lunge towards her. What are you guys doing?
Mind slice!
I'm trying to put my sword through him.
Okay. So we'll do Cerebellix, you can do your Mind Slice, and then we'll do the sword attack.
17!
Nice. And...
12 magical brain damage.
Okay. And sword attack?
Don't fail me now. 8 beats 2, difficulty -3.
Difficulty is 5 for the for the physical attacks. And as you, Cerebellix, you send out a pulse of psychic energy, which impacts the form and kind of causes it to shimmer and then solidify for a moment, at which point you, Machina, take the blade and just cut horizontally, carving through the creature's form, kind of, and then begins to dissolve into mist and then just drifts away. And it's gone.
I look at Machina and I go, ow!
I'm sorry, I didn't have much choice in the matter.
It's alright. It's okay. That fucking hurt. Really bad.
And Axeman is sort of like, you're telling me. Oh,
Ow.
thought you guys might take it easy on me or something. Jeez.
To be fair, if we weren't trying to disable you in any way we could have, you would have killed both us and Karma.
And to be fair, I don't think Machina was gonna kill you. I think he was probably just gonna chop your legs off. Ow!
That doesn't really make me feel any better.
Wouldn't have gone that far. It would have been possible to sever the tendons in the back of his knees, preventing him from walking.
There you go.
Yeah, it doesn't make me feel any better. All right. We gotta get the systems back online. That's not the first time we've dealt with Phantasm, and it probably won't be the last.
I will help put the systems back up.
All right. Looks over towards Karma, seeing what she had done, and gives a nod towards her. Good job, kid.
That was good.
I need an aspirin.
I need a drink.
I need some peace and quiet.
Which one you go back to clicking, and we sort of pan out as you all go beginning to make your way around the room, gathering up what you can. Eventually, as we pan off, you see the kind of lights come back on as Machina finally gets everything reset. Still wondering how that hack took place, and that might be something you're going to have to look into.
He got into my brain. I don't like that.
Yeah. So we'll bring that up next time. But yeah, as we pan away from the scene and you guys all going about your business and trying to rebuild the facility and all the red shirt E.I.N bodies that you have to kind of sweep up into a pile, and most of them are clones. It's fine. So you dealing with the fallout of all of this. And whatever else Frost might have in store. We'll go ahead and call our session here for tonight. Good job, everyone, our small little team here on our little side adventure.
We were awesome.
Yeah. So that's all we got. We'll go ahead and as far as our next game, you can look for us to hopefully be playing on, that would be, we don't want to do on a Wonderworld week.
This is Wonderworld.
Or on a Wild Space week. So I think that'll be December 12th. Will hopefully be the next session of the game, but we will post about that later on. Hopefully have some new people here. I know some people might be expressing some interest, so we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, we are so excited to be streaming once again on GGameKnights. So we're happy for anybody out there watching on now or on the YouTubes later on. You can check out more Game Nights streams, both live and on our YouTube channel. And when you're there, make sure you're following and subscribing and all that, so we can continue to build up and get back to some of those things that we had before. As far as scheduling, we have Survivors Complex on Saturday, just like every Saturday. So we'll be back again this week for that. And then Wild Space will be next Monday, so check us out there too. All of the scheduling is on the Twitters or the Twitches,
Yep.
so you can check it out on the Twitch page, as well as look for updates on our Twitter there. All of our thanks and credits and everything on our Twitch page too, so check those out. If you're wondering where our art comes from or music or anything like that, check it out there.
Our awesome new logo that we have too.
Yeah. So if you're interested in any of that, check it out on the Twitch channel, and don't forget to follow while you're there. Otherwise, we will be seeing you around on the interwebs. Thank you everybody for watching, and until next time, good game, good night, stay wonderful.